We've all been in bad online workshops that have you itching or succumbing to the urge to triage your emails instead of engaging your attention. Or in real-life workshops that use distracting virtual tools that don't add any real value. It's never a good thing when a facilitator experiments with a fancy collaboration tool just because they want to play with a new toy, like an online whiteboard or a polling or sentiment tool. Just because it's fancy doesn't mean an online collaboration tool is fit for purpose. The trick is using it for the right reasons, like any tool. Let's talk about how you and your teams can decide when digital collaboration is the right tool for the job. If someone suggests using an online collaboration tool in a workshop that's important to you, make sure they know why they're doing it. It sounds obvious, but the answer should follow the question. What does the online workshop need to achieve, and is an online collaboration tool the best way to do that? Here are two quite good reasons for using virtual collaboration tools. Firstly, it's a way for many people to have their say at once. Digital tools can be useful to capture ideas from different people simultaneously without having them all scroll quickly out of view in a meeting chat. Just imagine how slow and awkward it would be for 18 participants to take turns speaking out loud. Now factor in unstable internet connections, people struggling or forgetting to unmute themselves, and people accidentally speaking at the same time and then apologizing and spending 20 seconds insisting that the other person speak first. But using the right tools and techniques, 18 participants can all share their ideas at the same time, and a skilled facilitator can help to cluster and make sense of those ideas very quickly, much faster than would be possible by people speaking in turn. This is also a way of engaging quieter voices who have great ideas but hesitate to speak up in a traditional online meeting format. Another good reason for using a virtual collaboration tool is to edit information live in discussion for participants to reflect on in real time. If a later part of your online discussion depends on how an earlier part unfolds, something like an online whiteboard or even a shared document can be a good way of capturing and codifying decisions or edits in real time so that they can inform the next part of the discussion. So, for example, a workshop might need people to suggest ideas for how to improve workflow. If the next task is to sort those ideas into categories like quick and easy, more complicated, and seriously difficult, then a visual collaboration tool makes it easy and transparent to transition from brainstorming to sorting. If the editing task is simple, like a short statement or a few bullet points, and one person can make all the changes, then you probably don't need a virtual collaboration tool. Someone can just share their screen and edit live in a tool like PowerPoint. But once it gets more complicated than that, or will get messy and hard to read, then something like an online whiteboard might be a better fit. For workshops with a larger group or multiple editors, then a virtual collaboration tool can be a neater solution. It's inherently a bit messy anyway, and live editing looks perfectly natural in context, and it can be a good way to bring structure to different contributions. So, those are quite good reasons that could justify the additional effort and overhead of using a virtual collaboration tool rather than just having a conversation. If the goals of the workshop will benefit from simultaneous contributions or sharing ideas that develop and build progressively throughout the workshop, then a virtual tool could be a valid answer. But there are plenty of bad reasons people might give for wanting to use a virtual collaboration tool. If you hear one of these answers, it's probably worth asking a few more questions. If you need digital toys just to keep the attention of participants, then maybe we should put some more effort into framing the work in more interesting ways. Gamification for its own sake might seem like a fun way to keep participants engaged, but is it really worth it? Introducing the tool takes time away from the real business of the workshop at the lowest common denominator of technical ability among participants. If using a tool is more about feelings than content, then that's probably not a good enough reason. If flexibility and dynamism are virtues in themselves, then what kind of work are we trying to do? Even if the work is inherently creative and open-ended, you're going to need some structure to stop it descending into anarchy. A virtual collaboration tool can impose structure, but not if we use it in an unstructured way. Zoomable, infinite canvases are more dynamic than a linear PowerPoint presentation, but zooming around an infinite whiteboard also has costs. Instead of focusing on one idea at a time, participants might see a busy board with too many elements all competing for their attention. they can easily get distracted or even disoriented and lose where they are in the narrative. Just to be clear, virtual collaboration tools used well can make a great workshop. We run a lot of successful workshops using those tools. But we put a lot of thought into deciding when and how to use those tools well because, used badly, virtual collaboration tools can break a workshop and the spirits of many participants. If you or someone you work with is considering using a virtual collaboration tool for an important workshop or meeting, make sure it's for the right reasons that support the core purpose of the collaboration. If not, then there are probably better ways to engage participants in creative work with you rather than with a digital interface. Good luck in your next workshop, and thank you for watching.